I joined because I just love being in a team where everybody kind of has the same likes and differences, because we all kind of are nerdy and like to game and have fun.
I believe in STEM. I think it's great for kids. It's hands-on. It teaches them how to problem solve.
I want to be a robotics engineer when I grow up, and I feel like this will give me a good thing to put on my college application, and B, will give me a good jump start on programming and building robots.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
We are all here, all of the ladies, and one koozie. I didn't say gentlemen. I said koozie.
One
Welcome to Ladies of the
Right.
Round Table or LORT Live, episode 53, PC with the muscle. Let me show you. I'm here with the original crew. There is Regality TX. Wait,
What's up?
it's down there.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
This way.
Monster Mash Pixie, way over there. Hey, and Nikki, Batgirl D'Angelo. think she's over
Hey,
there.
everyone.
And the game continues with page 6 over there. Looking smexy
Showing
tonight.
some sexy
Okay.
shoulder there.
And
Yeah.
our guest tonight is the one and only KoozyL.
What is up, everybody?
Koozy, how do you feel about sitting in the hot seat with all of these ladies?
I'm kind of nervous. Feels good though. I mean, I can't believe you guys asked me to be on. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
We want to welcome all of the Origin family that's in the chat that came over to join us from the stream with Nano Kitty. Thank you guys for coming over and showing your loyal, continued support and love for your LORT family. And to new people that are wondering in the channel, what is this all about? Well, this is LORT Live. Ladies of the Roundtable Live. We sit here and talk about whatever we want for as long as we want, and you have to listen. Is not just an ordinary gaming show. This show is showcasing our intelligence as women who love games and geeky and nerdy culture. That means comic books, conventions, tchotchkes, and games. You name it, we're going to talk about it, but we do what we do because we love our charity. And if you haven't heard about our charity, that is our Scholarship Foundation for STEM Education, or STEAM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And we want to help some kids get a great education because, hey, let's face it, these kids are smarter than we ever would be with this technology that's coming out. And this is why we brought Koozy over to the show. Thanks for that follow. Because Koozy is a tech man. He builds awesome PCs that I could never even possibly think about getting my hands on at this moment because my husband would put me out because those PCs are not your average go to the store, rip it off the shelf PC, right, Kooz? These are gaming PCs. And the company that you work for, go ahead and tell everybody who it is, because there's a nice nifty little logo up in the corner there, but in case you can't read, people.
Oh, sweet. I work for Origin PC. We sell high-performance gaming computers. Can I give a little bit about the company for people?
You sure can. You know better than I.
Absolutely. Well, actually, Origin PC used to be, or should I say the employees of Origin PC, 90% of them used to be all Alienware employees. Our 3 execs were also execs at Alienware, and once Dell bought them out, they had a tough choice to make. They either wanted to go continue their dream of making custom-made PCs or work for Dell, have a nice cushy salary, and they took the risk. They took the risk and they created Origin PC, and it's been taken off. It's only been around for 5 years now, but all the employees there have over a decade of experience. We build really high-quality systems, and we're a pretty awesome crew, I gotta say.
So where is Origin PC based out of, for those who don't know?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, ooh, warm Miami, Florida. Unlike
Warm,
the snow that we
sandy
just saw
beaches.
today up here in the northeastern United States. Yeah, I said snow, and it's stuck to the ground.
I vote for field trip to your facilities.
Right? Yeah, because we gotta go
We
do
don't need a tour of that.
a
That's
walkthrough and some video. Yeah, I think that's gonna have to happen. You are correct. So Koozy, tell me, do you wear shorts to work every day?
I do.
Yeah.
I wear shorts
too hot.
year-round.
It's too hot.
Sandals.
It's the South. It
Shorts
doesn't
and
get cold
sandals.
here.
Right?
Sandals. Please tell me there's no socks with those sandals.
No, I don't wear
Thank you.
socks.
All right.
Oh,
Or
okay.
just lie.
Ninja Turtle toes.
So Kooz, I know that Origin has recently decided they wanted to get into the streaming on Twitch, and they've created their own channel with a team. Am I correct?
That is correct.
And it's growing rapidly, and the fan base is amazing. I have to say there's a very positive vibe over there with you guys. We're happy to be part of the Origin family. I know you are taking applications for everybody who keeps, shouting out and caps locking you guys on the Twitter and the Twitch channel. They are taking applications, guys. Give them some time to get through them. Working our way to get through those. And Koozy is a one-man machine. He does have a full-time job and he streams, so cut him some slack. I want to start with some questions about who you are as a person versus the company and how you came to work at Origin and be part of that family.
Sure. It all started back in 1983. No, I'm just kidding. I've been a computer geek my entire life. I started gaming when I was very, very young. I got my first hands on a Nintendo, like most of us did, and I fell in love with gaming then and there. I think my first computer came when I was around 13-ish, around there, and I got my hands on a game called Ultima Online, which I immediately fell in love with and learned my true passion for MMOs. Since then, pretty much learning and being a part of the whole gaming community online and meeting people online, I really decided that I wanted to be part of the industry at some point or another. And it was a rough start. Actually, I went to school for computer engineering for a few years. Had some stuff come up in my life though, where I had to drop out of school for a while and take care of my family. So I took a full-time job. Quickest money I could make was becoming a restaurant server. So that's what I was for quite some time. I was doing that, and I was really good at it. I actually almost became a manager at the restaurant I was working in. But right before all that happened, I had a friend of mine that started working at Origin PC, and she's like, "Hey, like, you love this stuff. I know you want to be a part of this. Why won't you apply?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I haven't finished school yet. I don't know if this is the right time for me." But I took the risk. I filled out I made my resume. I filled out the application. Lo and behold, I got an interview, luckily enough, and I nailed it. And I started working there at the assembly line. And I was building computers, which is what I love doing. It's something that I did for years before that. So I was building computers for them. It didn't take me long to move up. I got moved into integration, which is where we do the installation of the drivers, the OS, the software. After that, they put me at quality assurance. I was testing all the systems before they were going out. And then our CEO, Kevin, knew that I was also a streamer part-time from home for fun. I wasn't really doing it all that much. And he had asked me if I wanted to stream for Origin. And I nailed it there too. So they moved me into marketing. And now I'm the El Capitan of Team Origin PC stream team.
A lot of pressure. A lot of
A
pressure,
lot of
man.
pressure. A lot of pressure.
So I'm gonna throw over some questions to the ladies to see what they think, and I know they've been lurking in the channel, checking you out, seeing what's going on over there, because I've been telling them, hey, go over and look at this channel that we're a party to, and have been graciously included in what you guys are doing with your sub button, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, as a company, which is awesome for charity. I'm gonna throw it to Kimmy first.
All right. So the question I'd like to ask you is, you were streaming before you actually became a part of the Origin stream team, and what would you say is the biggest difference from you streaming on your own personal channel to you streaming on this team channel?
A lot more pressure. It's definitely a big experience. I started off on the Origin PC stream. Off the bat, we had like 50 viewers. When I was doing it at a different slot. It was from 4 to 6, and going from my channel that had a max of like 4 to 5 viewers to suddenly being hit with 50 viewers, it was a huge wow. But I embraced it. I did the best I could, and it kept growing and growing. The whole first 2 weeks I was doing it from the Origin facility from 4 to 6 p.m. So that was the biggest difference, just the amount of people, the amount of questions, the amount of support and love for the company, the pressure I had on me to think to myself, hey, I'm representing a company here. Calm down with the cuss words, try to represent them as best as you can, and yeah. I think that's the biggest difference, definitely. And then now being the head of the stream team, dealing with all these other applications that I've been getting in, and working out the streamer agreement, which just got finalized, so applications can freely roll in now. I can freely interview people now, which is going to be a great experience in itself. But yeah, that's the key difference, just the amount of pressure and the big viewership in comparison to what it was.
Yeah.
So Kimmy, who you want to throw it to?
We're gonna keep it in the streamer family right now. So Pixie.
Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna ask you kind of a ridiculous question, and then I'll throw up a chat question. So here we like to talk about cupcakes a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard us talk about cupcakes, but
Tweets out.
If you were a cupcake, what kind of cupcake would you be? And if Origin PCs was a cupcake, what kind of cupcake would Origin PC be?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'm a very simple man. All right. So I like just a plain vanilla cake with a little vanilla icing. That would be me. That's very easy. It's delicious, but simple. That's what I like. And then Origin PC would have to be probably a red velvet cupcake because they're just amazing and superior.
With the cream cheese icing, huh?
And delicious. And then so this question's gonna come to us from actually Arcade Android. What is the most challenging PC you've ever built?
Oh. There was one PC I built with 4 liquid-cooled Titan Zs. It had about 64 gigabytes of RAM, so every single RAM slot was filled. The motherboard itself was liquid-cooled, and the CPU itself was liquid-cooled. And it had 4 radiators in it, keeping it cooled. It was my first cryogenic system ever, my first liquid-cooled system ever. So it probably took me about 3 to 4 days to complete, which is actually faster than they expected me to complete it. But it was there was a lot of hand-holding going on, and I got through it luckily. But that was definitely the hardest system I've built.
Wow, did you take a picture of that sucker? Because I want to see what
where
that
is
looks
the
like.
computer? Because I officially am going to marry it.
It might take 2 minutes to find it. It might be old in my files, but I think
Oh, you might have to tweet that out because that's amazing balls.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I thought
beautiful.
I
It was a
had
beautiful
2
system.
in mine. I thought I was doing good. Now I feel inadequate.
Right?
Thank you for those follows coming in, guys.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And so I'm going to throw it over to the sometime streamer here. Shriv, let's go ahead and get your question.
Well, my question would be, if you could stream in tandem with anyone other than Nano, because you can do that now, and this is sky's the limit. You know, this is your one chance to stream with anyone. Who would it be?
Current streamer?
Current or former?
Okay. Honestly, if you would have asked me just a few weeks ago, it would have been different. But I've recently been talking to a very popular streamer. Who can I say? Yeah, Tally. I'm sure y'all know who Tally is, and he is one of the most humble, appreciative, greatest guys I've ever met, honestly. And it would be an honor to stream with that guy. I think he's a very cool dude. We've had a lot of talks and conversations, just not even anything business, just talking about random games and how he started streaming and what he's going through in his life. And I just think he's a really, really genuine guy. And that would be my pick, absolutely, 100%.
Do you find it surprising that most of the streamers that you have talked to, now that you've been back from PAX, which was your PAX East, which was your first major convention, that they are really genuine, honest to goodness, great people, and not people that you think their head has exploded. They're, the fame monsters has gotten a hold of them, and they're kind of, snooty and don't have time for people. Do you find it surprising that you come across that a lot?
Absolutely. I have ran into the other kind. And surprisingly, it's the really, really big streamers that you would never expect to be so humble and genuine that are the most humble and genuine. I think they're really appreciative of what they've got. I mean, they're living a dream. They're streaming. That is their full-time job. They're playing video games for other people while sitting at home. And they're getting great money out of it. They're getting ton of exposure. They're forming communities. I think that they're really appreciative of what they have, and it really shows in the way they talk to you and the way they talk to their fans.
Yeah. Six, I just saw your tweet. I love that. Thank you. It's great. Amazing balls. Shots fired, young girl. Shots fired. All right.
Every time Shrimp says Amazeballs, the official drinking game of LORT Live.
That's one of the best tweets. All right. So.
If that doesn't get people in the seats, nothing will, Carmen. Turn around.
Right? I just say it because Bonks is in the channel, and I do say balls. That's right. Love you, girlfriend. All right, I'm gonna throw it over to Nikki.
Yeah, thanks. Because I'm sitting over here, And I've heard about your computers for quite a while now because I was at the Santa Monica office of Cloud Imperium Games, and I saw a whole bunch of computers there once that all said Origin PC on there. Do you remember selling them to them?
No, I've actually only been with Origin PC
All right.
for a short time.
All right. Well, the thing I see is that a lot of people say, here I could make my own computer. You're in the gaming industry, and everybody wants to put their own mark on it. And then they go out to a website and they see a big bill and they go, "Wow, I could just build it myself." I just configured what I built myself, and it's not that far off. People were saying how expensive it is. So how are you guys doing that and still keeping the price down and still giving the support that you do? Now, some are over the top, but you're doing things that are much faster than you would put in your own, like the ultra quiet fans and the overclocked RAM and stuff like that. But you're putting in your expertise and putting all the parts together in a way where when you look at it, it looks beautiful and clean, and still, $2,100 for what I built, and I paid about $2,100 for what I built. So how do you guys do it? What's your secret?
Well, mostly when we buy in bulk, we buy parts in bulk, we get them a little bit discounted. But you're absolutely 100% right. Our margins are surprisingly low. It's something that people find shocking, but it's true. Our luck comes from building a lot of computers. So,
Yeah.
we have a very large customer base, which helps. We build a lot of computers for companies, so we build bulk systems for them. So we built a ton of them for them. That always helps. And like I said, a lot of these guys, like the guys that I work with, have a ton of experience doing it. So it's not that difficult for them to make the systems look pretty and nice. And we actually, one guy, like me, towards the end of my assembly days, I could pump out 5 systems in one day.
Wow.
One 8-hour shift, yeah. Clean.
I mean, that's the only thing that gets me is that it says they'll start building it on the 17th, or they'll ship it on the 17th. But I mean, I look at this and I'm kind of amazed. And this is with solid state drive and everything built into it, so that's good. So what challenges do you guys have at this point, like with other manufacturers? Like, I'm sure that you guys know about Doghouse Systems and other companies that compete against you. How do you stay competitive with them that have been in the market for probably as long or longer than you guys?
Really, what separates us from the rest of the companies is our 24-hour lifetime support that comes with every system.
Great.
That's definitely what does it. People get a kick out of that. I mean, it's great to be gaming at 3 in the morning, your computer goes down. Let's say you don't know much about computers, you can call our support system and they'll be available for you right then and there. Not only that, we also have a program included in every system that we put in where our techs can actually connect directly. I'm sorry, excuse me. Connect directly to your system and be able to fix any issues that you have. And if it's anything that needs to be shipped back for us, we pay for the shipping. So
Awesome.
yeah, there a lot goes into their support.
Do you ship
And
parts out and stuff like that people could change out on their own, or would you rather do it yourself?
that really depends on the customer and how comfortable they are with it. Most of the times, though, we'd prefer just to do it ourselves, just to make
Okay.
sure that it doesn't void the warranty in any way that they have. And we want to make sure that we're doing it right.
So the
Hashtag Origin
insists-
PC is not Sony.
Yes, they are. They are not. So why don't you pimp us your rig? Like, tell me what the rig that you game on is.
Sure. I actually built it myself with an Origin PC case. I'm
Okay.
running, my motherboard is an ASRock Fatality, which is something that I already owned. I have two 8GB HyperX Genesis sticks, 1866 megahertz. I am running a 4790K overclocked to 4.6
Wow.
gigahertz, cooled by a Origin Frostbite 240 liquid cooler. And I have a superclocked, overclocked EVGA 970.
Awesome. And what are your favorite games that you play now?
Really, H1Z1 is probably my go-to game every single time. I love
All
it.
All right,
right.
if you have not seen Koozy play H1Z1, it's not your average H1Z1 stream.
And it's
You
true.
have to see it to know what I'm talking about. And everybody in chat, come on now, throw up your Origin O's for KoozyL playing that H1Z1 because it's the most entertaining H1Z1 stream I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Koozy is not just an ad-libber. Koozy sings. Koozy makes friends.
I do.
Koozy
I try to make
sings for his
friends.
life. That's one of the best
Awesome.
parts. But also, Koozy does a dolphin dance, and I'm gonna keep putting it out there, Kooz, because that dolphin dance has got to come out somehow,
Wait.
some way.
What
It'll come
is
out. I'll do
what
it.
is
The
what
dolphin
is the
dance.
dolphin dance?
The dolphin dance came about in a really hilarious way. I was at work one day, and I was actually going out with a friend of mine that night to a club for a friend's birthday, and I woke up with the worst stick neck of my life. I couldn't. I was just like this. I was walking around the office like this the entire day. Like I couldn't move anything, and my manager was, "Oh, thank you for the O's, guys. Throw those O's out." My friends were telling me like, how the heck are you gonna dance tonight? Like, what are you gonna do? And I was coming up with like stupid dances where I had to keep my neck completely still, and then I came up with a dolphin dance where I just held my neck and just jigged back and forth. And my friend's like, "You look like a dolphin when you do that." And I think the day one of my Origin stream, I was sitting in there, and my manager was in there, and he's like, "Oh, show them the dolphin dance." And I don't know why, I just decided to do it. I decided to do it and explain it, and everyone went crazy for it. Most people were like,
It is now
"What
a
the
thing."
hell was that?" Yeah, and
And-
it immediately became a thing.
And there are some highlights and some clips and some VODs over there on the Origin PC channel that if you haven't seen Koozy winning the Battle Royal for the first time,
I looked like a legit insane person.
the man was so excited I thought I was going to pee my pants because he was so excited. So
Mom was
it's
so
interesting
proud
over there. It's interesting. 6, what say you?
All right. Well, first of all, I have taken a vow to never buy Adele Alienware.
Delian.
So yeah. So I actually followed Origin PC right from the beginning because I wanted to know what was going to happen when Dell bought Alienware. So I cannot afford them, even though they are affordable for what they are. Could never afford them, but I always keep my eye on Origin, and I'm really happy that we're sponsored by them. I have not checked out your stream yet, which sucks, but I'm sporting a Chromebook. There's not much. There's not much running on that.
Rip. If she's gone in a few minutes, you understand why.
Every PC gamer who ever lived just rolled
just
over.
cringed.
You game on a
God.
Chromebook? I don't understand. How do you game on a Chromebook?
You can't even play the Google image version of Breakaway.
Wow.
Like,
There needs to be a little jar with Paige's face and that Chromebook icon next to us in the chat.
I always say that I've cried more nights over my Chromebook than I had my entire teenage pregnancy, and it is true. Like, it was terrible when I first got my Chromebook. It was hard to pick up. And then they have like all these things in a Chromebook where it's like, oh, there's secrets for how to use them. It's like, no, just give me a caps lock. Like I don't need to find a secret command for a caps lock. But anyway, when you're talking about when you're making computers, and now especially, I'm sure you guys have a lot of new orders because games are demanding much more graphically intensive and much more gaming intensive rigs. You can't really buy a new PC and expect it to run everything that's on the market right now. It's just unrealistic, even right from the store. So, is there anything that you're seeing being made now that makes you makes your mouth water and makes you want to make one yourself? That makes your rig look small.
Yeah, there's a ton, man. My rig is, compared to what we make,
yeah.
The stuff that I've seen being pumped out recently, my rig is nothing compared to it. For example, one of our very own viewers, Osirian, who's always in our channel, he's been there since day one, just ordered a system that made me drool. It had X99, which is the new chipset by Intel, a 5960X, which is the biggest and baddest processor that they have. and it had 3 EVGA
Pixie,
980
don't faint.
hydrocoppers in it. It was
Holy cow!
yeah, it was a
Did
beautiful.
you spend his
beautiful
year's salary on it?
Osarian,
Think you might have.
Osarian, if you're in
and
the
let
chat,
me
Pixie's
play on your
single.
PC.
Yeah. Pixie's single, Osarian.
I think he's
Follow
a
back.
married man, but
Oh,
who knows?
damn.
Hey, who knows?
Oh,
But that's it. Yeah, it's just
I'll be your
and,
adopted child.
and he had it.
You're like, I'll take anything.
I'm sure you saw the tweets I shot out about it. He's the one that had the custom paint Lich King on it.
Yes.
It was just beautiful, and with the
awesome.
blue LED lighting on it, it's a beautiful, beautiful system. We're very
Oh,
proud.
I
of it.
bet.
So KoozyL, I have a question about shipping the PCs because you know these are not cheap because you're building something that's custom, and you're giving quality custom PCs, but you're also building what would be for most people either their first child or their second child, or
Their
they're
last child.
selling
in my case, my
selling a child.
75th child.
Right, yeah, to get the PC. So what precautions are you guys taking, or what are the extra steps that you take in packaging and shipping to make sure that, you know, nothing happens to this precious cargo for us nerds? Because we're waiting. We're like I'm gonna hurt the postman. It's supposed to be here today, or UPS or whatever it is. So what are the things you guys do to make sure that nothing is scratched, dented, broken, chipped, whatever you know?
Well, first of all, with every new product that we come out with, we don't know how it's going to ship. I mean, with everything that we have now, we know how to ship it safely. And for those that don't know, what we do is we put inserts in it, which are foam inserts. We put a sleeve over the actual system. So it's like a nice Origin PC sleeve that keeps it covered and doesn't let it scratch. We put the inserts of foam over that, and then the box over that. And then the box itself, we put in a huge wooden crate. So it's very, very secure and nice. And the wooden crate's super cool. It's one of the nice features about Origin PC. But every time we come out with a new product, what we do is we test it a few times. We have a test shipping facility out in California that's a family member of one of our executives. So we always ship out testing systems out to him to make sure they get all the way over to California safely and then come all the way back to us safely. And we try it in a whole different bunch of ways if stuff isn't working out until we get it right before we start actually shipping those systems out to customers.
So do you see Origin CEO Kevin in the chat? If you do, guys, give him a shout out. And Kevin, we all here at the table volunteer to test some of that shipping.
Yeah.
Or any stress testing, beta
Ship
testing,
me
alpha testing.
anything you want.
Yeah,
any
we
day of
got
the
it.
week.
This desk has got the space.
We'll sign a waiver.
I'll just turn my bed into a computer storage area. That's fine. I'm okay with this.
I
I have
mean,
a
you see
feeling
all
we'll
those
get any of those
subtitles
systems
back
back.
there? You can fit a lot on that bed.
Who needs sleep? Sleep is for the dead.
Man, so I want to go into some chat questions. I know Kim and Pixie, you guys have been keeping track, so throw them up if you got them.
So we already did one. So we'll do this one. Somebody wants to know, what is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
It was Subway.
Subway.
Oh yeah, it
The
was
weirdest
Subway.
Subway, my man, Subway.
Was that the
The
answer?
weirdest thing
Subway?
I've ever probably gator tail.
An
It's
earwig.
pretty common down here. Yeah, it's pretty common down here in
It
Florida.
must be if you're calling them gators.
Yeah.
Does it taste like
That's not
chicken?
a northerner thing.
It does. It does taste like chicken.
I heard it tastes like crab and chicken.
It's like a mix of both. Same thing with frog legs.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of frog legs.
I've had the frog legs.
That's probably the weirdest thing I've eaten. And it wasn't. I didn't know it was gator tail. I found
Oh, it was an accident.
out. Yeah.
Surprise!
They told me after. They told me mid-shoe. I'm like,
Oh,
slow it
alright.
down. You're eating an alligator tail right now. I'm like,
Kimmy, you got any chat questions?
No, actually I don't. Come on,
Alright.
you guys. Wait.
Throw them up, guys.
Come on,
Throw them
guys,
up.
wake up.
Throw those O's up with those chat questions. You are always asking questions for KoozyL when he's streaming and he can't read the chat. Let's go.
Hey.
So interviewing your most amazing friend KoozyL is like, it's like falling asleep on a warm, puffy cloud and waking
Puffy
up
what?
to a unicorn.
Damn.
I think that's the best description ever.
I think I
There we
like
go.
that a lot. I'm digging that.
One
Thank you so
puffy
much.
cloud and a unicorn.
That's like the
No.
tagline for the stream.
I would
Who
be the
will
best.
be MVP
Almost like somebody
this
doing
stream?
acid.
I wonder.
I would be the most awkward unicorn ever. I would be so death metal, and I would stab people with my horn. Sorry.
So
Wow.
Boring people.
And on that note, I'm going to segue into Nikki's topic for
Yay!
this afternoon.
Oh, we're gonna
or
segue
evening,
into
wherever
mine.
you're at.
All right, so mine is mostly hearsay, okay? And it's from a couple of people I know that were pointing me to websites and chat roles and things that they were talking about. And they're supporters of what I'm going to be talking about, so not the detractors. And they're saying that they can't believe that there's like returns and this uproar about how hard a brand new game is, which is called Bloodborne. My question is, have people been not dumbed down, that's a big bad word, but have people been led astray by the easy short campaigns that a lot of games have now, and that when they do get a game that's like built in a way that's a little bit challenging, like Bloodborne, which I don't play, are they being, is being challenged to sit down and play a game too hard for people? I did talk to one person that had it, played it for 2 hours, and actually returned it. So I don't understand. I know it's a lot like Dark Souls, or it's a part of it. So I'm wondering what you guys think.
Koozy, you
Well,
first.
Sure. In my opinion, I think that it's a good thing to finally have games like that. I think people have been dumbed down and been fed all these really easy games that you can complete quickly, and it's something. It's very disappointing. I remember being younger and being stuck in levels in Mario or playing Mega Man or Ninja Gaiden and
Right.
not being able to beat those games or playing them for hours in the same level over and over and over again. That's what makes it fun. It's challenging. You learn from your mistakes. You keep moving on. For those that have played Dark Souls, you know it's a very unforgiving game. It's very similar. I personally haven't played Bloodborne yet because I don't have a console, because I gave it up for just strictly PC gaming. But I know it's going to come out for the PC eventually, or that's what I'm hearing. And I personally cannot wait to play it. I think it's a fantastic thing. I think more games should be that hard. I understand why some people don't like it, and maybe it's not for everyone, but for me, it's something that I can probably do over and over again until I get it right.
Awesome.
Kim.
Well, I'm personally not a huge fan of Dark Souls. I not for me. And mostly for the fact of it's really, really unforgiving, and I get too angry, and I'm like, no, I don't want to play it. And you know what? I think that but for me, there's especially a limit to where I'm like, yeah, I want to play it because I want to beat it. But Dark Souls was never that way with me, and I already know that Bloodborne is like that. So I know that there are definitely some people who are obviously going to be on the same side of the fence as me, that it's not necessarily because sometimes that all games are dumbed down, or we get things like the order where we just click a button and it goes for us. But I mean, it's also kind of the fact of like you get frustrated to the point where you're just like, whatever, I'm not going to do this anymore, I can't do it. I think that it needs to become a balance of like, don't give me this unforgiving game that's going to cost me grief. I'll lay awake at night. Like, I can do this. Please let me. I swear I'm a good gamer.
So, Kim, do you remember that game that you brought to us that was like the clock game that you just woke up every day and it played itself? So I'm wondering if the people that like said things about this are looking for that. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think that probably a good percentage of those people are just people who are lazy. They want games that you click a button and it goes for you. I mean, and that's just kind of what we've become accustomed to. And that's sad, because that is pretty prevalent in the gaming industry right now.
Okay.
But I'm not discrediting Bloodborne, because I've watched it. I think it looks like a great game. Not for me, but my brother played it for 14 hours straight. So obviously they're doing something right. And he loves it. He adores it. He's going to keep playing it. He had people in his stream like all that whole time. They were there for a whole 14 hours. I was like, go you guys, because I'd be like, nah. Yeah, I just think that it needs to become a balance. And, you know, I don't think... I still can't believe people would return it. I probably would end up
Right.
trying. But, I mean, if you thought it was going to be hard, why would you buy it?
Well,
Exactly.
if
I think people
yeah,
rent
and that's
the
the way
hype.
I look at it.
I think the thing is games have, and I agree with Ulrich. Thank you, Ulrich, for posting this in chat. It's not a big bad word. Like, things have been dumbed down, but it's also a case of new features as part of games, like
Yeah.
save functions.
Right.
And I agree with that. My issue is when you look at any game, I think that all games should be balanced in such a way that they can be played by the casual gamer and by the hardcore gamer. And I think you do that by having systems in place where you can play it easy, medium, hard, and expert mode. So why would you not just put that in a game? I don't think it's that difficult, and I think that's something that really needs to be done. Because there are people who, you know, go to work and they come home and they're like, I'm going to play a game for like an hour and a half and, you know, relax and unwind. And they don't want to get in a game that's on like expert mode and die continuously. I mean, it'd be like being dropped into any open world and immediately getting shot in the face continuously over and over. Thanks, H1Z1.
Right?
Sorry.
You don't like that game, I take it?
Breaking
No,
news,
I've
ladies.
seen it happen over and over again to so many people. Like, the second they drop back down into the world, like, they're just shot in the face. Like, people continuously hunt people dropping.
Breaking news, ladies. We just got a live tweet from Holly Ann Soda, our cast mate in No Princess in the Castle. She stopped in the chat and said howdy do to us because we were talking. We couldn't see her roll by, and she is itching to come back as a guest host again. So, Holly, we thank you, and I just tweeted on our behalf. Thanks so much for tweeting us out, Holly. And I know we got some more questions other than just that one. I've seen stuff roll by, and Kim and Pixie are our chat moderators. Be sure to keep an eye on the chat because we have an MVP slot that is open because I haven't seen our MVP in the chat so far tonight.
Are we giving anything away tonight?
We are giving some things away tonight. I'm going to go flip through the Rolodex of game keys and prizes to see what's going on. I know we have some Origin PC t-shirts and some goodies to give away as well. While you guys are talking, I'm going to check and see what's in the prize closet. So any chat questions, throw them up, Kim.
Let's see. Eric said the ultimate goal of the game should be for the player to have fun. So, yeah, pretty much there's room for difficult and exceptionally easy games, which is pretty much what Pixie was saying. Yeah, I mean, and Eric also brought up Telltale games, and that's something that it's a feature that is drawing to people, even though it's not necessarily hard. It's very nice to have that narrative and that you get to choose. I see a lot of that coming out right now, and I think that that's really nice. But that I think Eric has a good point on that. And then Moco Loco.
Mocha Loco.
That name, dope. Oh,
That's right. He's a regular.
He's an Origin PC employee.
Pixie's a great. My nephew, for example, plays every game on easy just to get through the game, and they said that personally they could not do that.
I mean, I can understand doing that. I like to challenge myself. So there are games that I've played like 16 different times, and I've gone from easy to the hardest mode possible.
Yeah.
Just to say I've done it. It also gives you extra replayability in a really weird way.
Well, and sometimes whenever I played Birth by Sleep on PSP, which is a Kingdom Hearts game, you got extra stuff if you played it on the hardest level. Like you could play it on the easiest one, but you wouldn't get a secret ending. So you're like, oh, I need to play it on like extreme or whatever it was.
They do that with some games like Revelations, Resident Evil Revelations. If you played it on easy the first time, you got a gun. But it didn't happen if you did that. Get through on easy first. I agree with Pixie there too. I play a lot of games over if I start them on easy. I find that I play them more times that way.
Okay.
Minerva wants to know, does Origin intend to pair up with gaming companies who are releasing new games and doing something like release day or night streams to promote new mainstream and indie games while simultaneously promote their own Twitch channel and gear on the gaming company's social media and vice versa.
Absolutely. That is something that I can't talk too much about, but it's something that we definitely have planned for the future. And I'm hoping to do it more often. One of the major things I do over at Origin is reach out to game developers, and especially game developers that I'm a fan of their games coming out, and hopefully try to work something out with them. Especially since the Origin PC stream is still fairly new. We're trying to do stuff like that to promote the channel, promote the game, and I think we got a strong brand behind us. So I think something like that and working with a big game is going to really help us take off in the right direction. So it's something I'm definitely planning in the future.
So, Kooz, while we're on the topic of the stream team for Origin, can you tell our blended family here, because we've got a good mix right now and everybody's attention, some of the things that we're doing together with Origin and LORT and how we came to be and what the future looks like for that? Because I want people to understand that we are working in tandem to do a couple of things.
Correct. We are working in tandem to promote each other's channels. I mean, that's the main thing. I think you guys have been great, especially Carmen. You've been amazing. You've been a great help to me to get me started off right at the beginning, which was awesome. So I really hope that we can continue promoting one another. I'm always calling you guys out on our channel, and I'm hoping to gather some of your streamers to stream on our channel. Especially, I've already talked to Kim. I'm hoping that can happen in the future. Maybe we can open up weekend slots. Pixie, I see you pointing at yourself. We'll definitely have a talk. I will give you my email after this so we can have, and you guys are more than free to promote LORT during your blocks, and I'll always promote you guys. I hope that you all do the same. And I think that together we can grow we have such a positive community all around. I'm looking at your chat and it's been nothing but positive. And I think with our community being nothing but positive, I think it's been working out really well. And I think that we can form something really great here.
Awesome. And tell everybody about what you guys are doing with your sub button.
Sure. We're donating 100% of all our money to charity. Kevin, our CEO, is still in talk with a few charities to see where that money's going to go. We're actually hoping to finalize that within the next week or so, and hopefully I'll have a big special announcement for everybody. But that is what our plan is, and we're also going to have a separate donation thing. And I hope, in fact, to work with multiple charities so that, we can spread the love around. But that's ultimately up to the big man. So I'll leave that to him.
Yeah, and KoozyL, you guys have been great. I should say, when I say you guys, not only yourself, but the team itself. We have Sick, who is also on our stream team as well, who's migrated over to your stream team, or the blended family as we'll call it, and some other streamers that are really helping out to promote what we are doing this for, which is our charity. And we want to say from myself and the rest of the ladies at the table and producer Ian that we're very appreciative of you guys helping to promote what we're doing, because it's not about us at the table. It's about the kids that we're helping with our scholarship foundation, who will be continuing the longevity of our community as gamers. Because the buck doesn't stop here, guys. We all love these things. We're talking about computers, we're talking about tech, we're talking about games. But I know for Nikki and I and Six, we've got kids that are seeing what we do. They're seeing how we enjoy these things and how they're part of our daily lives. They're not just a hobby, and they want to get in the mix. And then you've got younger generations like Kim and Pixie coming up that this is their lifeblood. And I know you guys in chat understand what we're talking about. This is your entertainment. This is your TV. This is your conversation every day with other people who we are, your people, us nerds. We roll together. And we want to make sure that the children behind us are understanding that this is a career for you. This streaming, this the gaming professionally is a sport. You can get scholarships now for what, ladies? League of Legends. Come on.
What?
So
I didn't know that.
Mind blown. I tried to get my daughter to play it the other day. She looked at me like, I'm not so sure about this League of Legends. But I'm like, scholarship. All you gotta do is face roll, do the thing. for a little bit. I think it's important for us to develop that relationship with companies like Origin, you know, other companies that I can't name names right now that are helping us to build this foundation to be able to have kids come in as interns and come out as employees to make bigger and better games and understand the future of this particular genre of our livelihood. I'm going to jump off my soapbox and I'm going to roll into who's next. Somebody tell me, because I'm not in the chat doc, who's next for the topic?
Me.
Okay.
So, GenCon, the 4 awesome days of gaming, has been in some recent scuffles, let's say. Earlier this week, the GenCon CEO, sorry, I have it all jumbled in here. The GenCon CEO sent an open letter to the governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, urging a bill that's called State Bill 101 that is going to give religious freedom to businesses so they can deny same-sex couple services. The CEO he sent them this open letter and said, please, you should really reconsider. You need to veto this because if you put it through, we plan on leaving Indiana. And that could really, really affect the state and how it works because they get a lot of money from GenCon when it is there.
Over $50,000 per season.
Yes, that's great for the state.
Yes.
And so, recently, they did decide that they were going to pass that bill. And so they are now allowing businesses to deny same-sex couple service if they think that that is what they should do. And although GenCon has a contract to stay in Indiana until 2020, Adrian Stowart said that they are planning to move as soon as possible in 2021. They've already began getting everything into place, so when everything works, it gets out of there. They can get out there and have everything ready, and also Stowart is really working with people who are going to be coming to GenCon in the next 5 years. He's saying you can contact me and you can help share comments and concerns about local businesses and how they've treated you, because we want to be all inclusive of everyone because that's what they're about. And Macy and I had a little bit of a conversation about this earlier because this is something that's very central to us, because we do live in a state that does have a law like this. They can deny us service if they want to, but we go in places and nobody says anything to us. Do you really think that they will reconsider after GenCon has said, you know what, nope, we're going? I mean, there's 5 years in between now and when GenCon leaves. Do you think that they'll see the hurt that it's going to cost and decide, hey, maybe we should rethink the passage of this bill? What do you guys think?
So guys, I'm going to interject real quick because I'm going to give some facts on this because I was actually doing the same topic that Kim was going to do, and I'm going to throw up a couple things. The law that we're talking about in Indiana is called the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Okay, so if you're not familiar with it, you can look it up on Google. Basically, this law allows businesses and establishments to deny service or goods to anyone based upon their religious beliefs. So what that means in not so many words is discriminatory behavior or actions against you or others. So GenCon, obviously being one of the largest conventions in the States, I'm not going to say United States, but in the States, and the largest convention in Indiana, really took offense to this and said, we're out. This is not going to happen. I happen to work directly with Indy PopCon, which is the second largest convention in Indiana. They also made a statement saying that they will not tolerate anyone who is going to use this act as a weapon, if you will, and they don't want to do business with you. Do not come up to sign for an exhibitor or any kind of passes, because they're not going to follow this act. They're not leaving, but they're not going to just, they're going to ignore it. So this isn't just affecting us and these conventions, it's affecting them across the state. And I know that it makes a big difference to us because those conventions are local for, for me. I think for me, Kim, and Six, those are drivable for us. Those are the ones I go to every year.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a big deal for us in the United States to have something like this come across as legislation. It goes back to fundamental rights as a person, and I think a lot of people are making the LGBT statement that this is going to be the first line of attack for this, legislation, an easy target. KoozyL, what do you think?
I'm blown away that this stuff still happens.
Oh, really?
I mean, in the time and age that we live in, like, how are people so discriminatory? And I mean, I guess yeah. I was raised. I have an openly very proud gay uncle who's been with his husband for years, and they had to secretly get married down here in Florida back when I was a young kid. And my mom never hid it from me. My family never hid it from me. My family was never brought up that way. Just to hear stuff like this, it makes me upset. Especially coming from a big convention like GenCon and stuff like that going down. It's mind-boggling. I mean, I know it still happens. I know it's still going down. I know there's still bigots out there, and racism is still prevalent, and people hating on other people because of their sexual preference is still prevalent. But can it just end already? can we move past this? I mean, everyone's entitled to their own feelings and beliefs, and I don't think anyone is able to pass judgment or should be able to pass judgment on others just because of the way they feel about another person. It's ridiculous. Those are my feelings.
Let's go with Nikki.
Well, this now with this type of stuff going on, same-sex marriages, same-sex couples, transgender, transsexual, it's crazy, all the laws that are being put into place, and it's challenging the Supreme Court to set in and set things right for the nation as a whole, right? Until the Supreme Court takes action, which they're going to with same-sex marriage in the near future, you're going to have these states trying to push the religious, agenda instead of what we should all be doing. But 50 years ago, 100 years ago, this was a racial thing, right? And now today it's a sexual preference thing, and I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. Aliens living with humans, it's we've all it's we saw alienation, right? We always have to have something to discriminate against, right? So, I live in the middle of this because I'm I'm pretty much the redheaded stepchild of the people that are discriminated against now because we're the minority of minorities right now. But this sickens me. But when you have CEOs of companies like Tim Cook that step forward and say, hey, we're not going to listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
Why should we? And to have a company that's saying we're going to move out of Indiana, that's not the way to do it. You stay there and you do what you want to do. You say, hey, I'm going to support these things, because by running away, you let that government, now have a bunch of companies that support that. And it becomes harder for the people that live in that state that are same-sex couples to have a guiding light, a support system behind them. So I think that's great, but there's other ways for them to get their message across. Stay and make it, you know what I mean? Stay and make a stand. Don't leave and go somewhere else, because, the same-sex couples, whatever it is, you need the support everywhere you are. I feel like I'm fumbling my words, being I'm pissed off. You know, it sickens me.
Kim, I know you got some chat questions. I know it's rolling by. I can see those.
Oh yeah, they're just as disappointed as we are.
What's going on with the mic?
So Moken says, this is crazy. I respect religious beliefs, but I'm surprised that passed. I guess I've been out of the loop on politics. Go GenCon for planning to leave. And then Yurik said, they may have to reconsider, but not because of GenCon, but the accumulated net effect. Like NFL is also reviewing the bill, and if the NFL boycotts Indiana, that would not be a small matter.
Oh, that would be
catastrophic.
So long, Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet ya.
They'll be like, we're just gonna rewind a little bit. Nah. Arcade Android said, I think homophobic people don't participate in logic, so I think they will see the negative effects of this law.
Arcade Android, first in line, leading headlong with that MVP coming up strong. Woo, that was a good one.
And Jericho said, honestly, why wait? I think that showing you're willing to break the contract and risk breach due to this would send a much stronger statement. And that runs a lot of risks that I really would make.
That's a ton of risk. It could be that if they break their contract, that Indiana officially owns GenCon.
Wow.
So let's go ahead with your thoughts, Pixie.
Okay, so I'm gonna say some things that, like I'm gonna start
Let's
at one
throw out
point.
the disclaimer. Go ahead.
All of these opinions are mine. They have nothing to do with any of our affiliate sponsors, and these are my opinions and my opinions alone. I am all for religious freedom. Like religious persecution, like Quakers came to America. Like it happens. I am all for religious freedom. I am all for your right to express whatever religion you so choose. If you want to worship flying purple people leaders, I don't give a shit. Okay, like,
Sign me
don't care.
I'm gonna repeat it. She don't give a shit.
So I definitely see some interesting things going on. Like personally, I think that the state should issue legally binding contracts to everyone who wants to get married, and the church should be able to marry whoever the hell they want. And if it conflicts with their religious views, they don't have to, because I believe that that is their religious right as their freedoms. But this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm sorry. There is no reason in any world that you should ever deny service to someone based upon their sexual preference. Like, it's like separating people because, I mean, it's like Jim Crow bullshit.
Guys, I have to apologize for your raid holes being blown out right now. When Pixie gets excited, she gets a little loud. Just sorry.
I apologize.
Very
That was
much
a
so.
fashion.
But it's like, you can't tell someone that they're not allowed to go to the grocery store and buy food. Like that's a right that should be. That's ridiculous. Like, everybody needs to eat. Like, you are entitled to life, liberty, and technically property. So if you're denying somebody food service, you're detrimentally affecting their life, and you are thus denying them a substantial and equivalent right. Because if you don't feed them, that person will die. It happens. Like, people dying of starvation happens. Like, they have to have food. Like, and this is what's so frustrating about stuff like this. Is it's like, I understand that you don't want certain things, but this just goes, like, above and beyond to a certain level. And it's like telling it the problem with this too is there are studies that have been done that show that when you tell someone who is like anti-vaccinations why vaccinations are good and why they should do them and all of the things that they believe about not vaccinating are wrong, it actually makes them believe that not vaccinating their child is better. And it's a problem. Like, it's a problem that you can't have logical discussions with people and explain these things to them. And it just, mind-boggling rage.
I have to say, Crazy sneaking up like a dark horse with the Hashtag Pixie Rage. It's already tweeted. It's already out there.
Like, yeah.
Kim.
We just need something that's gonna roll across the screen.
Yeah,
like right
those hashtags, Ian. Go ahead, Ian. Just put them up there. Kim, what say you?
I mean, me personally, okay, here's the thing. I'm all for religious freedom too. Like, if you want it, yeah, same thing with Pixie. If you want to fucking worship a fucking sandwich because you think, yeah, like with Subway's name, Subway is life. If you want to worship Subway, go for it. Good on you. Whatever. I mean,
that's right, Subway. You worship that footlong.
Yeah, you worship that footlong.
Oh boy. Oh god.
Okay,
yes, we went there.
Welcome, Koozy, to the round table.
This was the process of me and Macy's conversation earlier. So Macy and I are both Christian, which a lot of people are like, what?
Huh?
Every time we say that, because people don't think you can be Christian and be gay. Whatever. And once again, this is my opinion and my opinion only. And Macy's opinion, because we were talking about that. If Macy, you want to come up here, you can.
Cranberry.
I'm in my jammies.
I told Macy that if they wanted to pass a bill to make this actually legal, I think that there should definitely be something in place that will say, like, you have to apply to be a religious business. Like, I am a Christian business. This is why I will not serve these people. And that needs to be a thing. Because here recently, not recently, but it was probably a year ago, there was a lesbian couple with their children who were at Chili's, which, and I don't know if Chili's has ever said that they're a Christian company, but Chili's refused them service. They said, you have to leave. You and your children have to leave. In front of their children, you have to leave because you're gay and we're not going to serve you. And last time I checked, Chili's wasn't a Christian service. Chili's is not a company, has never said, I am a Christian company. I'm not going to do this. And so that's what we believed. That's what I thought should happen if they're going to pass bills like this. There needs to be a regulation set up that way. And then Macy and I were talking. Macy, you want to say what you were saying earlier? Because it was very smart.
Should I get up on my soapbox?
Get up on your soapbox.
Hashtag Macy Rage.
Also, all hail Cthulhu. I mean, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Eater
You'll have
worlds.
to remind me exactly what I said, because when I get on a roll,
You
I
were
just
going on
get on a roll.
your hate speech thing about Christians.
Oh, about how
Because Macy grew up much more religious than I did.
yeah.
Hashtag, these are Macy's opinions. They're not the opinions of our affiliate industry.
Oh, I can't hear.
Oh, she can't hear.
I
Okay,
can't
go.
hear so
You're
well
good.
when you're talking.
You're good.
Just a
if people
disclaimer,
are gonna
Mace.
deny people for being gay, they need to also deny people for getting haircuts, wearing mixed materials, working on the Sabbath, or judging people because you're not perfect. And as a godly person, you should know that's God's job to judge and not yours, because that person without sin should be the one to cast the first stone. I guarantee you they have sinned. They can't judge us, and they can't ban just gay people, because if they're a religious company, they need to ban all sinners, not just us.
Boom!
Drops the mic.
Mic drop.
Yay! Okay,
Explosion.
you can come back to up now.
Pixie,
She's
chat
been
questions.
time.
So
I didn't even see her.
we're getting some interesting things. There are people who have Ulrich was looking, and he says that he can't find anything relating to Indiana that's not negative. So and so slams this bill. He hasn't seen anything in support of it, so that's really good. Obviously, our producer is playing devil's advocate and talking about there are private businesses that can deny service for whatever reason they choose. This does in fact happen.
Try working for the Salvation Army.
Yep. So I mean, those are things that do occur. But it's how do we control all of these things? And how do we say that this isn't okay? And I think GenCon, like, I gotta give my hands up, like, thumbs up. They're doing it the way it needs to be done. They're like, look, this is, and they're gonna have time to notice, like, this is all we bring in. This is money that you wouldn't have without us here.
Let's
you
start
want
over
to
to
really
6,
consider what
guys.
you're doing.
Age?
6.
Well, if we don't allow Christians to stone each other for working on Sunday, I think we have a loophole which states that the law of the land trumps the law of the Bible. Right there. We have a funny little trend in America where we allow you to worship your God to the point that it does not infringe on the freedom of other people. You're allowed to worship your God up until the point that your worship hinders another person's pursuit of liberty. Or that's what the Constitution actually says. That's not necessarily how people interpret it, which is the funny thing about Leviticus, because there's ways that people interpret it which also don't condemn gay people. This is why that will never, ever pass in the Supreme Court, and if it does, I would debate leaving the country. I'm not even kidding.
The
I'm not even
Holocaust
kidding.
will occur next if that
Right.
passes.
These are establishments which religious establishments do not even pay taxes. The fact that they think they should be able to throw lobbying around on us blows my mind. It blows my mind. I can't even I had to write it down to get through that part because it just blows my mind every time I think about it. They claim that this religious right gives them a precedent to shirk responsibilities that create a safe place for anyone who wants to patron or work there. And this just happened again with Hobby Lobby. You know, they want to come in and they want to say, hey, we want to be able to deny you this, but really it's about paying less money most of the time. It's about paying less in taxes. It becomes a way to deny certain people now. In this instance, it's a discrimination issue, and it's a serious discrimination issue. And that doesn't even go into the point that a lot of these laws, which protect homosexual people, do not protect transgender people, which is another thing that people do not talk about with these laws. A lot of them are short-sighted, completely short.
So what would your resolution be to this particular?
Well, first of all, my resolution would be that anybody who wants to be called a Christian needs to pay a religious tax to the country, and churches need to be able to pay taxes. And any establishment who wants to claim themselves as a Christian establishment needs to abide by the laws of Leviticus strictly. Which means you better not be wearing mixed fibers, you better not be selling shellfish, and you better not be having homosexuals being your freaking supervisors. You know, don't come to me when you know Baggy Tony's there not coming into work. And, you know, you had to fire the guy that actually did his fucking job. We had a problem with that in one of my other jobs. This one guy was getting discriminated against. And it was definitely because he was gay. And, you know,
Sadly,
they replaced him. He walked and got a better job because it was fantastic. And then they're complaining about the management missing this other guy that we had. And it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have been a fucking asshole to him. You know, sorry to curse. I know we're allowed to curse. Like, I don't know how many times we're allowed to say curses in this stream.
But ticker.
It makes me...
I
was raised by homosexuals. So, and I am not homosexual. And it, you know, to see what they had to go through to raise us religiously, because they were religious, much like him. They were religious, they were Christian, and they have their own bigoted views themselves. You know, just because you're discriminated against in one section doesn't mean that you can't discriminate against people in another either. But it was hard growing up in a family where you just want to stay together and you just want to live your life the way that you see fit and raise your children, or maybe get a chicken sandwich. And
I'll eat the chicken sandwich with my gay hands.
You know, and people want to discriminate against you because of the way that you have sex, and they want to use their religion as a justification of it. Something that's not mandatory. Something that does not mean that you could impose that on another person. There's nothing in our laws that state that from when we were established as a country. In fact, it was the complete opposite. You weren't allowed to impose your religion on other people. That was the point. They were having
some salty ladies up in the house, like Pixie just said. And I'm gonna put the executive kibosh moderator hammer down on this topic because we're gonna go long on this one because I think we all are in agreement.
I have one question. Kim, what is the name of the law they're trying to pass again?
It is. They were saying it was State Bill 101, but Shrimp gave a little bit. Yeah, State Bill 101.
What is it again?
State Bill 101. It's It's the Religious Freedom Bill.
Okay, so there's a federal law known as the Religious Freedom Reparation Act, and that's what had to do with the Hobby Lobby court decision, and that's being amended by Obama. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this like.
Well, Hillary Clinton came out and made a Twitter statement. And if you haven't seen it, which she is in some hot water, so, her making some statements and going bold and just putting something out there for someone else to pick apart. And I'm not a Hillary Clinton major supporter, but she made a statement and said that this is very, very disappointing and sad. This is even in existence, like, Pixie, like KoozyL was saying, that today's society, we're still having these types of conversations and debates. And that's, to summarize what she said. So it's out there. We've all seen it. It's affecting us as gamers. And what I've seen in most of major news and social media is we're the only ones talking about it because of our GenCon and our Indie PopCons saying, okay, wait a minute, this is going to affect us greatly and the people that patron our particular convention. I really haven't seen any other major businesses, Hobby Lobby will just keep their name out of it, and some other places say anything much about it. It's us nerds that are up in arms and pissed because we're like, wait, messing with my stuff, man. Hold on, put the brakes on it. All right, so I'm going to go over to Pixie. Pixie, let's throw it over to your topic because I'm going to, zip that one up, throw that one in the bathwater and move on.
Yep.
I have the best topic. It's so nice. Sort of. So Legend of Zelda Wii-U is delayed. It's not going to be out. And it's not even, Nintendo's not even bringing it to E3 this year.
Tears.
So if you were waiting for that, it's not happening anytime soon. I apologize.
Why?
I don't want to break anybody's little heart.
It gives me time to get a Wii U again. It's fine.
But it is what it is.
I'm so sad.
Tears.
That sort of stuff happens all the time.
Kim, tell us how you're feeling.
Okay, you know what? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise.
Oh,
because
look at the price tag?
I sold my Wii U to build my computer. I sold it for really cheap because I needed the money. I needed like the teeny tiniest bit left. So I sold it to build my computer, and I was like, but the new Zelda game! And I kept seeing all these awesome things, and I was like, no! And then now maybe I'll find some time.
She's like,
take heart. Some time to wait to get the money.
Take heart in knowing that the reason it was delayed is because they discovered several new possibilities that could make it a better game on Wii U.
I like that answer.
Yeah, the NX.
Yes,
instead of giving us the broken game.
Yeah.
Like we just talked about last week. We talked about that. Why you're pushing it out and giving us crap, and then we get traumatized after. Oh yeah.
I will wait if you promise me some good stuff. I will be there waiting with open arms.
I'll wait for you.
I'll be 80 and waiting for that game. Like, please.
It's amazeballs.
Wait, I have a
response. What the hell did you Grenade?
I have a response.
Okay, go, Nikki.
I'll sleep well tonight and still wake up tomorrow.
Wow, that was DM.
I just wanted to see you jump through the camera.
KoozyL, what say you?
This is a growing trend. Games getting delayed. But honestly, I don't mind it as much. I think it's better for a game to be delayed than rushed out, like a lot of games have. It's been happening lately. I think game companies, paying. Don't get me started. I'm paying for early access games. That's what my life's to come. I'm still mad about it. You want to see me rage?
Kooz rage. Kooz rage.
Early access games.
But you play one of those, don't you?
I do. I play, all the games I play are early access games. I don't own a fully released game at all. It's ridiculous. But you know what? If they're gonna delay it, fine. But just make sure you put out a quality game. If you're gonna rush it out and give us crap, then I don't even want it. I'd rather it get delayed. I'd rather any game.
So guys,
Cool
right now, I want you to take a moment, and Kim and Pixie, I want you to get your screenshot button ready. And we're all going to, on the count of 3, give our angry face for those early access crap games. Then when they come out and they're broke, how they make you feel, right? If they come out, all right?
Hang on,
So,
I got this.
You got your buttons ready?
Wait,
All right.
who's got this?
When I'm gonna count to 3, and on 3, everybody give their angry face, and you two are gonna take the screenshots and tweet that out. All right? So, ready? On 1, 2,
It'd make you laugh.
3. You got it. That's gonna be interesting.
Ugly as hell.
Oh my
right?
god,
There
this
you
is
go.
awful. I'm not tweeting this.
Thank you.
Oh my
Kevin! I'll tweet it.
You
No.
do it.
I just saw it on the
Oh,
street.
man.
It's great. Tweet it out.
This is how we roll. All right, so
Oh god, Kenny.
6.
Yeah.
What say you?
I'm ready.
About early access, about the delay.
Mm-hmm.
I've been saying this for a long time. I'd rather games be delayed than come out, making a bad name for the game industry and pissing people off. There's been a lot of games, that we've been talking about that for whatever reason, and normally it's a financial reason, they get pushed out the door and they're completely broken. And the gaming community, or at least the parts that I'm a part of, have been furious about it and no longer want to pre-order games and no longer want to participate in day one games. They want to wait for reviews. They want to wait for the embargoes for the reviews to be lifted. And I think that, was it Miyamoto? I think there's a meme of Miyamoto. I don't know if Miyamoto actually said it, that he'd rather delay a game than put out a broken game or a game that's not finished. So I think that we're all on the same line there.
Yeah, I can wait. I know I'm sad deep down inside, but it's all right. I can wait.
I'm always playing a Zelda game, so there's so much replay value in most of them. I'm trying to play Spirit Tracks. I am not enjoying it right now. I may not finish Spirit Tracks, but I definitely do, I've been playing Minish Cap, and I've played Ocarina of Time quite a few times, and Majora's Mask just came out again, it was remastered. So there's lots of Zelda for any of us who want our Zelda fixes out there.
Yeah, and at least they're giving us something to do in the meantime.
Yeah. I don't feel like I've been starved out. Now, Metroid, there's something where I feel a little bit famished. I'd like some new Metroid. Nintendo, please. but we definitely get a lot of Zelda.
I'm excited about the Wii U. So hey, I'm making up excuses to get it. My husband keeps saying no, and I keep saying, but the mini wants it. She needs it. She has to have it.
She has to.
But she needs it. Come on.
I mean, it's a write-off. I mean, something.
Yeah.
Come on. Who's up next? Is it me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not heard from Six though, right? Did we hear from Six?
Yeah. She just talked.
All right. I mean, I totally. Unless I just forgot. Did we do 6 topic? No.
Topic.
6 is
No.
topic.
Yeah, 6 topic.
I came unprepared tonight. I
God,
do
this
have a
is
bit
a never-ending show.
Yeah,
Hey,
no, I can't.
Every night, every Friday night, we do the same. We take over the world, Pinky.
Aegon says that we need a new Earthbound. I'd like a remastered Earthbound. That'd be cool.
I know what my topic's gonna be. Nintendo has taken way too much time to give me a new Metroid game. I'm going to start a please respond campaign to Nintendo until
It's been
until they
delayed.
tell
It's
me
a
that
new
there's some new Metroid coming out.
It's been delayed because they figured out they have new things that will make it better.
They're waiting for the eye to get implanted into our eyeballs. That's what they're waiting for Metroid.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna roll with my topic 6 if that's okay with you. So, it has been announced that one of our most iconic television movie directors, Steven Spielberg, will be directing the sci-fi version of Ready Player One for Warner Brothers. The adaptation of Ernest Cline's epic sci-fi novel, Ready Player One. If you have not read Ready Player One, I don't know what's wrong with you. We can't be friends. You gotta read that. You gotta read it. It's an awesome book. Down? Oh, I was gonna say. There you go. Ready Player One. Look at that. Nope. I'm telling you, that's not planned. That's not staged. It's just. It was in. Was it in Loot Crate for last month, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep, it was.
And it's an epic book. You just have to read it. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I read it. Damn it, it's a great book. You will not put it down. And for someone in your life that's not a gamer or doesn't understand what it is to you and your livelihood, give them that book. They come away with understanding a little bit different about your train of thought and who you are as a person. I guarantee it. I'm intrigued on Steven Spielberg doing this, and as always, going to be very skeptical as to who's going to be cast, as well as how well are they going to stay true to the book versus, a movie adaptation. So, Kooz, what do you say?
Steven Spielberg doing it would be fantastic. If it was Michael Bay doing it, I would know.
Don't get us.
How many
started
explosions
on
can we throw in
Oh,
this? I think book adaptations are a little bit frightening for me though. You can never fit the full feeling of the book into a movie. I don't think, unless they spread it out like they. Even with Lord of the Rings, it's 3 extremely long movies. Still felt like they didn't do enough. Personally, I have not read the book. I'm so sorry. I've been meaning to read it. I haven't sitting here to read it, but everyone that's told me anything about it has told me it's an amazing story, and I need to get on it.
I revoked your nerd cred.
No, no, give my nerd card back.
I was giving you 100 nerd cred. It's gone.
I'm gonna start right now in that case.
Because I like you.
Page 1. Yeah, I'm really excited to read it, but yeah, it's hit or miss for me. I have seen some book adaptations in movies that were good, and I think it does depend on the actors that are in it for sure. But I think if anyone can do a really good book adaptation, it'd be Spielberg. I have a lot of faith in that guy.
Yeah,
I loved all his films.
I actually can't think of a Steven Spielberg movie I don't like.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I was trying to think of as you were talking about.
AI?
What? He produced Cowboys and Aliens. Nice.
That was a good movie. Can you guys hear me? Am I all staticky still?
No, you're good
No,
now.
you're good now.
All right, good. So I don't have to say anything more. You say Steven Spielberg, I'm sold. I mean, that was an easy topic. Awesome. Yay! Go team!
Go team, go.
Jimmy.
I've never read the book. I've heard many great things from many people in my stream, from you guys. I really do want to read it. I think that it's something that Macy and I could sit down and read together, and maybe she would enjoy it as well. But hearing that Spielberg is doing it, that does bring me some relief, because, like Koozy said, adaptations sometimes go a little bit like there's just not enough. And maybe I'll have to see the movie before I read the book, but that's a long time probably. So I'll have to read the book and just rage if they don't put the parts in I want.
I'm gonna read it tonight.
Read it tonight.
I'm gonna start it.
I'm just saying, like, this is gonna be done by the guy who like brought us Poltergeist and E.T. and The Goonies. Okay, this man doesn't touch anything without it turning to solid freaking gold, like he's Midas. I'm so excited. Like, I am ready for this. The only thing I can think of that Steven Spielberg was ever involved in that was not the greatest was, like, Deep Impact. And it's just because it's kind of a crappy movie. But, yes!
Make it happen. I'm writing to Spielberg.
I'll write a review and I will give you
All
two
you
thumbs
gotta
way, way up.
do, I just tagged him in our Twitter feed, so, you know, if you feel so inclined, retweet and tell him what you think. Say, dude, don't mess up my stuff, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 6, what say you?
Very thoughtful today.
I'm kind of not. I don't know. I'm not excited about it, but all of my friends are. And normally, when my friends are excited about something, that means it's a movie that I'm probably not going to like. So, you know, so I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I think it could be cool. I hope they don't turn it into like a Hunger Games kind of epic. If they do make it, I'm hoping that it's just going to be one great movie, rather than a bunch of movies that they try to sell me on Blu-ray. So that's really where I am right there. I don't have faith that they're going to do it in the way that I would enjoy it. I don't like when they break things up and try to sell me, like, try to get me to buy 3 or 4 different tickets. Breaks up the experience for me. I'd rather be in a theater for 4 hours than go back 4 years.
Well, for those of you who are keeping up with the mini escapades of my my child, I am obligated tomorrow to go see the new Insurgent. I don't know what version this is.
Yes.
Insurgent, Divergent, Insurgent.
Okay, Insurgent. Okay, I got it right. So I'm taking a group of. They're not tweens anymore. They're teenagers because they're 14. Tomorrow I'm the chauffeur. I'm the Uber driver for the day. So I'll report back of how disappointed they were. And now that, Zayn is leaving One Direction, this is an earth-shattering moment if this movie is a hot mess. So wish me luck. There may have to be some Taco Bell tears tomorrow.
Taco Bell
eating your feelings of some sorts going on. And with that, we're going to segue that right into Koozy's topic.
Oh, what topic do I want to go with? I'm so torn right now. I'm going to go with early access. You know what? Because I feel so strongly about it.
Okay, let's get off the horse so we can beat it again.
I know that you all have talked about
this. This is wrong. Nikki, this link is absolutely wrong.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that link. There's some on
here that are actually not.
Yeah, like.
This
Wrong.
is one person's opinion, not mine.
World is like great. Artificial
Hey! If you're gonna talk about it, share with the class. Put it in chat, and then
All right,
roll over.
I'll put it in there right now.
Somebody do a straw poll, and then we're rolling over to Koozy.
I love
Spielberg movie. Got it.
Straw poll coming up. Koozy, go for it.
Oh, we're back on my topic?
Back on your topic.
All right, early access games. So when it first started with me, really, I think the one that hit me the hardest was Starbound. It was a game I was extremely excited about, and they pretty much stopped working on that for years. And more games are falling into this trend where it's, hey, let's make them pay for early access. Let's give them access to the game, and you're essentially paying for a game that's not even close to being done. What happens more often than not is that people get bored of it. They don't end up coming back to see the finished product, and that's if the developers don't just take the money and run. And most of them don't, they'll still stick around and work on the game, but they definitely don't have that fire up their butts to release a great game to make a ton of money off of. Because chances are, if the game got hype, a ton of hype already, it's over. They've made more money than they could have ever expected to make after releasing that game. It's a sad, sad thing, and I see the trend continuing to go, and I really wish it would stop. And I really, going back to my first topic, which is supposed to be Crowfall, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be the same thing with that.
Shut up! Shut your mouth!
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
No.
I'm a backer. I'm going to be early. I'm going to be
leave.
playing. I paid for early access for that game. Yet another game I got suckered into.
Don't
H1Z
say that.
early access.
Suckered into. All right.
I mean,
make
Crowfall
us
has
cry.
all the potential.
Listen,
Crowfall has all the
Koozy,
potential to be one of the best games ever made.
You
But-
and me, Koozy, we could be friends. I'm
Yeah?
telling you. Yeah. You
All right.
took the words right out of my head sometimes.
Get out of her head. I am tweeting. I'm live tweeting right now. Shervasa needs some Crowfall backup. Bring your butts in here because I need to rebuttal.
Look.
I'm gonna give it to Pixie. Go ahead. Throw out your 2 cents because I know you got something to say.
So I really actually love getting in on early access games and beta testing and being in alphas. I love it. It's my jam. Part of it is like I love having the ability to, actually contribute to the development of a game. I get to offer feedback and I get to give them the developers my input, and it's usually listened to pretty well. And that I really like. But I do think at a certain point developers fall to the wayside and they stop listening to their core audience. A lot of people saw it happen with Titanfall. I don't want to go there, but a lot of people love Titanfall and they don't anymore. And it's because things have changed and things have been done to the game. So it's something where I feel like it's great if they listen to their base audience, and the problem is they stop listening to their base audience at some point.
Yeah.
And that really irritates me.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Pixie. I love playing early access games. Even if a game on Steam says early access, I'm like, I need it. I don't care if it's early access. I'm gonna be here
every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here until they finish it, and then sometimes they don't finish it, and then I'm a little sad. But I mean, what a rebuttal, and basically just repeating on what Pixie said. It's just like they don't listen to you after some point. Like I can just see all the screaming, like in comments and like forums, like it's broken, fix it, and like. Nothing ever happens to it.
We paid for this already.
Yeah, help me! And like, I spent time to play your game and tell you what's wrong with it, and that's what you asked me to do.
Yeah.
So,
And then you do the complete freaking opposite!
right? Yeah, and like sometimes I see right now early access is like just like something they stick on something on Steam, because there's this one game I've been following literally since November, and like they're like, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out soon. Just wait. Just wait. And I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be early access, and I want it. And it's just like a sticker there. Like pretty much, they're just like slap it on there. It's good. People will buy it. Whatever. And I'm like, I just wanted to play this game. I need to be disappointed or not, please. So, I mean, it's sad that we've come accustomed to being disappointed by early access games and all that stuff, but that's just the facts right now.
6.
That's my life.
Right?
In
That
this
was like-
industry.
What was that one game I played with the humping ghost? That was an early access game.
Oh yes,
There
the humping ghost.
There was this game we played that was supposedly supposed to be the scariest thing like ever on
I
Steam.
remember that.
And Macy and I played it, and like we were like, "Oh, this is scary," because the atmosphere was weird. Like we would glitch through the floor, and we were like, "Okay, well that made it less scary." So then we keep going, and then like we came into this room, and like it was a hallway. So we went down the hallway, and here comes this ghost, and she's like, And we were like, oh, fuck, we gotta get out of here. And then the ghost catches up to you, and it was just, like, humping you. But nothing ever happened.
It was just like glitched out. It was like, and just screaming.
That was just like, ah! It was so bad. I was like, oh no.
They weren't scared, let me tell you. They were just giggling.
I literally had to turn the game off because I was like, I can't subject you guys to this anymore.
Pixie, any good stuff going on in chat?
Broken games released are obviously the worst. We agree. Early access is only good if the players report the bugs or glitches. Most just play the game and don't report or tell what's wrong. Absolutely, you have to report it. You have to report it.
That's what I wanted to talk about. The fact that now people get to buy into these beta tests means that you're not getting quality testers. It used to be a very specific thing where you'd have to fill out an application. You'd have a ton of experience beta testing games before. Maybe you were part of the beta testing community. You have to be trained. Any one of those things will make you a good quality beta tester. And now you can just be like, here's my money, put me into a testing phase.
I beta test board games. I don't beta test or like RPGs, like live action RPGs. And like there's a convention that does it by me, Metatopia, in my area, and they're fantastic. But they also have in those areas, in those conventions, people there to teach you what it is that you are supposed to be reporting. You don't go into a beta test and then tell somebody to change a rule because you think it would be better without that rule. You go to a beta test to see if there's something that breaks the flow of the game that the developer is trying to make. You'll go to a beta test and somebody will sit there and they'll write about, they'll give feedback about the artwork on the board rather than, that they should get better quality figures for the board instead of actually testing what the developer wants you to report on, which is how does the game flow? How can I make this game flow better if they want that? Or answering the things that are requested of you. And I see that in early access, too. People get caught up in something that they think is very important without understanding that this is an early access game. You know, what they're looking at is not a final product, not even remotely. So you shouldn't get caught up in the skin of the sky. You know, and I've seen this with early access, and I've seen this in board gaming. And I think that goes back to the fact that they're not getting quality testers. They're getting anybody, and people don't even know to report a bug, let alone maybe that's not even what they're going there to test out. Maybe they just want this game to look like how they want it to look. Or, you know, they want to change something that's mechanically the developer maybe can't change because it wasn't voted in based on the people who were producing the game. Or, that they don't have the budget for. They go to things that you don't necessarily need to be addressing. And if they were quality, if they were trained, if they were experienced, they would know better. And it's a big reason why I very, very rarely will touch an early access game.
But I think...
Nikki.
What?
I'll go
I thought Paige was about
Nikki.
ready to talk again.
No, I was about to.
Pixie.
It was a slight rebuttal. The one
All
thing
right,
I do have to say though is
Say that again.
Moderator hammer down. Nikki, go.
All right.
I'm going after Nikki.
All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
I will pass to you as soon as I'm done. So I just looked through my Steam library of like more games than I care to admit I own. And I'm looking, there's early access games in there, but I mean, I just want to point out that, I've been gaming for a long time, and a lot of the early access games I'm looking at are more fun than a lot of the games I paid a lot of money for. Just look at anything from NCSoft, that came out and like disappeared in a heartbeat. There's a lot of games out there that aren't early access that are just as bad as some of those early access games that you get to play. I think that Koozy's what he pointed out, that some people just take the money and run, and some people just keep on floundering and not, delivering. He brought out Starbound. I got that game when they first announced it. It was like Mac, PC, Linux, and it took forever for it to get to where it is now. I mean, like years. And then I look at like a really, 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 top-notch game designer from the '80s who hasn't done anything since, like Peter Molyneux, bringing back Goddess, which I thought was going to be like Populous. Again, bought it based on his name, early access, and it stinks. But there's other games that I look at in that library that are early access, and they're better than some of the AAA titles on my drive. So I think it's a give and take, and you have to look at what the project is and see what the historical data is from these companies. I should have known better from like Peter Molyneux from some of his failed projects in the past. But you are trying to help these indie developers and different people to create something that they wouldn't otherwise be able to create. And these aren't going to these big giant companies or venture capitalists. They're trying to come to you and say, hey, this is what we got. And you could be like a venture capitalist. You could say, I don't really think that this game is going to make it, or you could hold off. And at the same time, we all know that I've invested thousands already in an early access game called Star Citizen. And that may never.
You and lots of other people.
Yeah, but it's like if you believe in the product, if you believe in the person, and you know that it's going to work, you do it. But I think that there's some out there that are just touchy. And when I look at the ones that I'm not playing, and I just stopped going, and I just looked at 3 of them online, and there's been no update for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. I'm like, yeah, Koozy's right. Some of them took my $20, and there's nothing out there.
Yeah.
So the way I feel about it is I like the good. So I'm going to say for that good to happen, there's going to be bad. There's going to be situations where you're going to learn over time and getting involved with early access games, not to throw your money into it. And you're going to be able to feel your gut on others that you can say, this is going to be a good one. And sometimes you'll be wrong in that situation. And a lot of times you'll be right. So
see, I
that's
won't.
what
I just
I
won't
think.
touch unless it's in my gut.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'm with you.
It's so rare, but it's also like I'm relatively new to the scene. It's like I've been started playing games at a hardcore level when I was, I don't know, like 8, but in reality, that's not even 10 years ago for me. So a lot of the games that I got into, they're still making them now on major platforms. It's not like I have to go and back something to relive something that I've done before. I think what's happening now is there's a lot of games that got flushed out, and these people who built the gaming industry are coming back, and they are putting something out there, and fans who have faith in them have to put something into it because major companies have moved on to different things, and there's still people who want these older games. I think that kind of goes back even to Bloodborne, what we were talking about earlier. It's just a different kind of game than what my generation of gamers are used to. And some of us love it, some of us don't, but I'm not upset that there's early access. I'm glad that it's there, and I'm glad that we have Kickstarter and GoFundMe. But there's definitely a high risk as an investor, even if you're just putting 20 out there, that they don't really owe anything to you except for what they're saying when they're pitching their idea. And that turns a lot of people off.
So Paige said something about obviously don't report stupid stuff like I don't like this art. But if there are rule changes for any game that would make the game far more balanced, that should be something like people do take a note of and that they do report. Like it happens in it happens in almost every MOBA. It will happen in almost every multiplayer game. Like you have to report these things to make sure that the game actually stays balanced and is playable. If you can buy a sword that auto kills somebody, that's kind of broken.
I'm coming from a place of a board game as well when I'm saying that. Is that when you're doing something like that and there's something that doesn't move the game forward, they see it real quick because you're playing in a little circle. You're at a table with somebody, and they make a note of that and move on. Now, when you're filling out the paper or whatever the form is that they want you to for the game, they have things that they want to address. That was broken. They made a note of that. You don't need to go in then again and write a bunch of, things about that one thing that they already touched on. They're the developers, they're going to take it from there, but they had things that they needed you to address, and people just ignore them, and it kind of, sometimes I've seen that really hurt a game. Now, that's not a video game. That's a much more massive scale. When you're talking about this, you're talking about maybe 3 or 4 sessions of, 5 or, 3 to 8 people playing a game. It's a little different than a video game, which is why, when I prefaced it with that, because it is different.
But even in your scenario, if you report it, you can offer potential solutions, and that is helpful.
A lot of them don't want that, and they'll tell you that. And if you go to if you do, because I've done training for it, they tell you, if they want certain things that they should be asked for. Like, it's just something that, in my training at least, they told you to stay away from and steer clear of.
Kim's got a comment in chat.
So, Ed, Poke Your Eyes Out Game said, as a tool, early access can do really wonderful things, but when that tool is used only to make money, then we get sad face.
Yeah.
Unanimous across the board.
Yeah.
That one. And we see that trend of people being paid for early access, as well as not necessarily paid to critique or play the game, but they're promoting the game as early access testers. And we see that with a lot of YouTubers and streamers. I'm going to say it. I put it out there. Yes, I did. Because you can tell when Twitch is saturated with an early access game and you go to the stream for one of the higher ranked streamers that's playing the game and they have no clue what they're talking about and or no passion for what they're playing. They're just like a robot and they're just they're ignoring the broken stuff and just glancing through what we would see as important if we were playing it. And we ask those questions about the broken stuff and they're not even answering you. So I'm in agreement with you guys. I think that there is going to come a point when we are so jaded that we're just like, early access, what? No thanks. Now, when you throw out a Steam sale, we lose our minds. There's just no control. We need adult supervision. Valve, you still are deep in our wallets, and we need second jobs for you. I don't know what's like.
Oh, Gaben.
Oh,
help me, Gaben, please.
So, any other chat questions for Koozy? Throw them up because we're wrapping to the end of our show. Even if you want to know what his favorite flavor of Kool-Aid is, I don't know. Throw those chat questions up there. Maybe drinks Tang instead. Whatever.
Purple.
I don't know, guys.
Somebody asked, what is the most difficult retro game you've played?
Most
Koozy?
difficult retro game I've played? Oh, man. I would have to go back to, like, Ninja Gaiden, probably. That was probably one of the harder ones. But one game that actually I remember being young and playing, and my mom actually had to throw the game out because I was just so amped up about it, was Super NES Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Wow.
So ridiculous. There was this one level where it was like in a mine and you were in a cart with Rocky and Bullwinkle and you're in the mine cart and you had to like jump a cliff, and I kept dying over and over again. I was starting to sweat really bad and I was just standing up and shaking, and my mom was like, "You can't play this game anymore," and she just threw it away and I never played it again. And it was like it was for days that I was rocking that over and over again. So Ninja Gaiden and Rocky and Bullwinkle for Super Nintendo.
You know, that game for me was Centipede back in the day for Atari.
Okay. Yeah.
Before the rollerball, right? I used to get so
Missile
mad.
Command.
Yeah, Missile Command too. Get so mad that again, your parental unit would come over and be like, "If you can't act right, you're gonna make you this upset. You can't play the game." And then you just look at him. You look at him like, "What?" You know, you're just mashing the button, get angrier, sweating, throwing things. There were no curse words at that time. There were a lot of inaudible sounds.
Right.
Because and then, you know, back then, if you played an Atari, original Atari 2600, it would get so hot that it would just shut off. Then you'd just cry. You'd be pissed. You know, you're like, fuck it. I got it. Oh, but Pixie, what was that game for you that you just your initial rage, and if your parents were actually around when you were playing, that they were like, oh no, this is not appropriate behavior.
Oh my god. So I'm gonna go kind of old here.
Wait, prepare ourselves, Nikki. She says she's going kind of old. Wait, I can't wait to hear
Like,
this.
old like Zork 2 or Zork 3?
Like you guys don't notice the working Ataris, like still own a lot of retro game consoles.
Hubert, that made me mad.
But no, the biggest thing that made me mad was the frickin' Lion King on Sega Genesis. I don't know what the hell was wrong with that game, but my god, you could not beat it.
Nobody was good at that game.
I was horrible at that game. That one and Aladdin, I sucked at.
Dude, Aladdin was
awesome
the
at Aladdin. Yeah.
I was so good at that game.
I wrecked Aladdin. Oh my goodness, I loved Aladdin.
That's so cute.
Aladdin, what do we have? I had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I think, on that same console. The hardest game I think I had on a Genesis was that Beavis and Butthead game. I couldn't get to the Gore concert.
Oh man. I actually have mine.
Yeah.
This stupid game. This is Glover. It's the worst game ever. I remember being a kid and trying to play this game and being like, it's hard. And like, I could never even get past like the tutorial parts. I was like, I can't do it. And so I bought it my senior year of high school. I was like, I got this.
Mission.
I was like 6. There was no way I could have done this game, but I can do it now. I can't.
Winner!
Kim is a child versus Kim is an adult.
Not easy! Clever.
She said, why I can't quit you.
Kim can't quit. I can literally see Kim. I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna be so good at it and it's gonna be so awesome and I'm gonna redeem myself from my childhood. Oh my god. What the fuck was I thinking? Oh my god, I'm so shit at this.
Kim, you're gonna have to have Macy take a screenshot of you with that game and post it because that's awesome.
I should play this on my 12-hour tomorrow.
You should. You should.
Are you doing the 12-hour tomorrow? Rough.
Yeah, rough. But we're going hard tomorrow.
12 hours, like,
oh my god,
my son's every day.
But you also have to entertain people for 12 hours.
They do.
Still Kim 0, yeah, pretty much. Glover's owning me still.
Awesome. So I think we're coming up to the last part of the show, and the last part of the show is our shout outs. Koozy, so that you know you're gonna go last. We're going to give out some shout-outs to the people that we are most appreciative of this week and or communities, whatever's going on in your life. And I also want to get the straw poll done, if that's still rolling. And I would love to be able to have a unanimous decision on tonight's NBP. So you guys think about who that's going to be when you come up for your shout-out. I'm going to start with 6.
Oh my god.
My shout-outs this week will go to Ian Dorian, who has an interview coming out with me. Zeo Drifter, which is the game that I've been dedicating my life to. And this week, it's been Zeo Drifter. And the ladies, of course, Origin PC. Every week, we give you guys a shout-out. But thanks for coming on the show. It was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm going to go to Nikki.
Hey, I'm sorry, I just saw this one come through my email. I got to give a shout out to this great person that just subscribed to me on YouTube. Sunset Shimmer, the magical virgin smelling butt shaking unicorn.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
And to think we were talking about unicorns a minute ago.
That's quite a namesake.
I'm sorry, that was the best one I've ever seen. But, a shout out to KoozyL, of course, Origin PC, and all the wonderful things they do for us and the wonderful people that are here all week. Shout out to the Phantom Bonks that I saw there for like I thought I saw her. I mean, she was there for a little
Was
bit.
she there? Was she
And
not?
no, she left early. She left and said that she loves us all. And I want to say a big, huge shout out to me who turns 50 on April 1st.
Shout out.